Right now, the bamboo bike is almost all plant-based. There are a couple of metal parts in it that you screw the bottom bracket in and the wheel bolts onto the dropouts. The rest of it is bamboo. The fiber is locally found fiber. The epoxy is plant-based. Vibration damping of bamboo comes from the fact that it's not round and straight, and it has nodes in it, and the wall thickness varies a little bit. The structure of bamboo is asymmetrical, basically. It doesn't resonate vibration at all. The bamboo bikes that we build are to our standards of stiffness that we've established in the industry, and they're about the same weight as a steel frame. If Bamboosero can prove that bamboo is strong enough for a bicycle, then perhaps others will see that it's strong enough and suitable for plenty of other products, especially products that can be made by hand in a place like Africa. Bamboosero is an offshoot of Calfee Design, which is the company I started back in the late 80s, building carbon fiber bikes. And I've got a reputation in the bicycle industry as an innovator with carbon fiber. And I felt that, well, someone has to be the innovator for bamboo bikes. And since I came up with the idea of how to join bamboo with the fiber and epoxy, I thought I'm in the best position to do this. So it's sort of like you're given an opportunity, and if you don't take it, then you kick yourself in the butt for the rest of your life. In our case, we've got, number one, the challenge of selling a bicycle made of a non-traditional material, made in a place that is non-traditionally known for manufacturing. So our risk level is a bit high to begin with, but we really want to see if we can do this. Some perception that it's difficult to sell something made in Africa, but the reasons why people buy things are changing, and people are making more personal statements about what they choose to drive or what bike they choose to ride. The item that they're making needs to be of high quality. It needs to be at the same or even higher quality than you can get for the same price elsewhere. So I think our marketing approach is to appeal to the people who really want something different, who care about where they spend their money. Well, we're quite different in the distributed manufacturing model. Distributed manufacturing is where we have a lot of different groups building the bikes. Building of trust is incredibly important in this kind of work, and I've observed that trust is not very common in the developing world. It seems to me that that's one of the key points that causes a lot of places and people to not progress very quickly out of abject poverty, and for many good reasons, historical reasons especially. So we've been very careful to develop trust, to do what we say we're going to do, to stick around, to keep coming back and keep pushing forward, and that has developed good trust relationships with the Bamboosero. We had some great experiences with one builder who needed $100 to travel to a place, stay a few nights, get some more training, and go back to the village and continue. We didn't pay for their transport or their accommodations. They came on their own, but they had to borrow the money from the chief of the village. And this chief is notorious for hardly ever lending money out because people don't pay it back. But he saw enough credibility in what we were doing, and I had met him already, and I didn't call him up and vouch for these guys, but I was there as a known entity. And I told these guys, I said, look, you take the first $100 that I give you for these frames, and you pay your chief back, because otherwise he'll never lend you any more money. So that happened. They paid him back, and then I went to see the chief later, and he was so proud of his people for paying back the loan. And take wisdom, for example. He sees this as a way to secure his future, to help his son join the business. The idea of it seems to be strong enough that wisdom has stuck with it for 2.5 years.
Actually, I was interested in bikes, and then in our youth, we used to play with toy cars and so forth. So I try to formulate my own, fabricate my own scooter. From there, I tried little by little, and I made a wooden bicycle to go to transport myself to school. And that for some time, and happened that I have to take my wooden bike to exhibition. So make me won the exhibition at Science Museum. So right now my first wooden bike is at the Science Museum right now. Okay, from there I trained myself to become a bicycle mechanic myself. And at the same time I was a former cyclist. That was, I was one time a national champion. And then from there, time to time, before we introduce into Bamboosero framework.
Where did you get to know Craig?
Craig, I was introduced by a friend of one of called George Edu. At that time, he also is a bicycle dealer. Peace Corps bicycle producing to villages, and he introduced me almost about 3 to 4 years now.
Wasn't it a crazy idea?
Yes,
for you?
Yes, it's a very crazy idea to me because it's in fact, it's a very craft work, and you know, when you don't have the determination, you don't have the mind, you can't do it. And I say, no, this is my fault, so I have to associate with bamboo. So now I have associated myself with bamboo.
So when you meet a opportunity like Bamboosero, and you can see that this could go on for a really long time. If we're careful and we make good products, people will buy them.
Here you are, and what are you doing here?
Alright, I'm Benjamin Opoku. Obviously they call me Ben. I'm 24 years of age, and I make bamboo frames I make frames out of bamboo. And it's quite a good business for me now, and I'm enjoying because I'm learning new things, and I always want to know new things. So I'm glad that I'm in this business. Yeah.
Okay, and tell me, what did you do before you were doing this, and what are you doing now with it?
Okay, I learned a trade, which I learned auto electrician for 3 years, and I came back to my village and sat with my mom, and I was selling foam units.
Yeah.
And tried to make some money to assist myself, and then I met this Peace Corps lady who introduced me to Craig, who's the man who introduced this business. And I started making frames. I've been in this project for 2 years. Also, I'm the tour guide for Bamboosero, and it has helped me a lot because I've been through this, and I'm able to go to school. I'm using this, as well as I'm going to make frames through my whole life. Yeah. I really love bicycles, and I enjoy making frames.
And the investment required to set up these small shops, which is not very much, compared to the investment required to set up a factory and manage that labor in Africa, it doesn't seem to make sense. Distributed manufacturing aspect is really interesting because you can prevent a lot of continuing problems by zeroing in on that one problem from one group. So we're making our mistakes on a small scale and correcting them quickly. We're creating a sort of a formula for success that can theoretically be distributed to every village. Wherever there's bamboo growing and people need bicycles, we can provide a solution.